YouTube, Dub Digital, crypto news market trends. Cointelegraph dated 7/14/2020. Startups help reduce child labor in Africa and aspire to work with Tesla. So just to bring you up to speed, if you're new to crypto, one of the benefits of crypto is that it is transparent. When I say that, it means that it's run by computer code. Everything's viewable on the blockchain, so you can see every single thing that goes on it. A lot of these traditional systems, these traditional companies are used to operating in a silo where no one can see in or out unless what they give you. They can tailor the message, they can tailor the data, they can even lie to you. And in fact, they have. There's been situations where Whole Foods is selling organic food when it's not organic food, but you would never know because the sticker says organic. There's been situations when there's conflict minerals from countries like Africa, China, that sometimes don't have the best child labor laws in some places, and they take advantage of those children. In the automotive industry, it seems that they run into a similar situation with some of the materials used in the engines. I think I did a video on Volvo before where they were trying to monitor where the cobalt's coming from, because that typically comes from countries that are afflicted with child labor problems and just pretty much kind of like low-key slavery problems in general. So let's read into this one. Seems very positive. A blockchain startup helps car manufacturers ascertain that the raw materials that they use are not produced by children. Because that's always good to keep, children safe, dude. Like, I can't believe people do that, to be honest. Recently, the venture arm of corporate giants Volvo and Total invested in a blockchain traceability startup, Circular, that helps reduce child labor in Africa and aspires to work with Tesla, GM, and Ford. So that's big because they're already working with Volvo, and I told you about the cobalt before. Go check out my recent videos that I did a couple days ago on Volvo and Circular monitoring where the cobalt is coming from. But now they're targeting Tesla, GM, and Ford. That's huge. So the biggest electronic car manufacturer and some of the oldest American car manufacturers are going in on Circular. So I would say Circular has been chosen as the solution as of right now for some of these big wigs. I don't know how it's going to be across the sea, across the pond in other countries, but right now it looks like some of these big American companies are jumping into Circular. So basically it looks like Mica is the material that they're trying to monitor where it's coming from. So buy Mica from Madagascar or Russia. Circular CEO Doug Johnson Pogensen, I hope I got that right, discussed these issues with Cointelegraph. Quote, "The problem with Mica is that just like cobalt, it got a whole plethora of charges around responsible sourcing like child labor, this time in Madagascar. So responsibly sourced Mica comes from places like Russia, which is where we're tracking it from. Yet you get stuff much more cheaply from Madagascar that's dug up by kids in working conditions which were appalling. And clearly those are unacceptable risks for a responsible car manufacturer." See, that's bravo, Doug Johnson. So at least someone's coming out speaking against it. Love it. I love it when I see a businessman that has some ethical substance to him, right? So child labor sucks, bad. But when you have a capitalist society, people are trying to get the least amount of cost to sell to you so they can get the most amount of profit. Just because Mr. Johnson is thinking this way doesn't mean the rest of the world is. And that's why blockchain could help make everyone transparent, not just the ones that want to be. The investment will help Circular improve its machine learning algorithms. The company is trying to train it so it will be able to distinguish between children and adults. Then it would be able to use aerial imagery to determine whether a company employs children or its mining operations. Whoa. That's crazy. So basically Circular is going to be using satellites. I doubt it'd be planes. That'd be a lot of infrastructure and gas. So I'm guessing it's satellites that are sitting up in orbit over these areas that are going to be looking down upon digitally on these mining sites and determining if these are kids or adults. It relies nothing on the company or the country reporting out to us. It's basically aggregating data itself. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool here. I'm going to skip down here because I read the rest doesn't mean much. I'm going to go over the highlighted parts. So Mr. Johnson explains that the reason we went to a private permission blockchain was partly because the president... Well, I don't think that was Mr. Johnson. So this is Circular, I believe, saying the reason we went with a private permission blockchain was partly because of prejudice by our target customers who are not used to transparency in supply chains, who have commercial sensitivities to consider between their relationship with their customers. And many of the potential customers we were speaking to, certainly 2.5 years ago or so, just didn't see how a public blockchain could be configured in a way that would maintain their commercial confidentiality. This is where the rubber meets the road in terms of the new economy, blockchain, digital, open, permissionless, transparent, and the old traditional systems that are closed off, centralized, and centralized, right? We have these big flagship companies who are used to doing things their way, sharing the information that really matters just with their board members and their shareholders, sometimes not even their shareholders, and kind of just operating in a silo. You never know how much things really cost. You never really know where things come from, and most importantly, you don't really even know if your product's authentic. Some of these businesses, like diamonds. Okay, I got it from K Jeweler, whatever, but like, how do I know it's a diamond? Because you say it's a diamond? Because I got a piece of a certificate, a paper that says it's a diamond? There are a lot of pitfalls in a lot of industries that could benefit from blockchain, not just automotive. So Mr. Johnson, who's the CEO of let's see what he was there, Circular. He continues to say, but he just believes that the interoperability is key, so no single solution will prevail throughout the automotive industry. Well, he's echoing what I've been saying this whole time. In order to entice the new economy, the traditional players to come into the new economy, you have to be somewhat familiar to how they operate. You can't just be like, hey, you guys are used to like not showing anyone anything, but now you have to show everyone everything. So come on in. They'll never come. Building a permission blockchain that allows them to stop you what you see from this point on gets them comfortable, right? It gets them in the game. It gets some skin in the game. And if you are in crypto now, I'm in crypto. We both know that once you get experience with it, once you find out that these blockchains don't really fail too much, depending on what you use, of course. Like in the top 10, these blockchains are pretty good to go. It's not as sketchy as it seems. It always seems to work. You get more and more confidence in the system. And below here, they go on saying interoperability is the name of the game because first we'll have to bring people in on permission blockchains, which are pretty much not transparent, but they're interoperable with public blockchains. Public blockchains being Ethereum, being Bitcoin, being Cardano, being things that are not closed off, are not centralized. Public blockchains are open to everyone. Anyone can connect to them. Anyone can use them as long as you have the coin to power that transaction. So Mr. Johnson in this article goes on to say that yes, we'll start with permission blockchains, but I do see a time when these companies get more familiar, more used to doing business this way, and at that point we would have to rebuild these solutions on decentralized blockchains. So basically, when asked whether Circular has plans to expand its clientele to Tesla, Ford, or GM, Johnson replied, "The short answer is all to all of that is yes, we have. So those car manufacturers that you just named will be buying batteries from the sort of battery manufacturers we are working with. We're just about to start onboarding to other battery manufacturers, and we have a number of battery manufacturers who have approached us because they know about the work that we're doing. As the world is becoming more aware of ethical dilemmas involved in manufacturing, Tesla has become the most valuable car manufacturer in the world." Bang! So there you go. Last week I come out with an article with Circular on Volvo tracking cobalt. Now we have Circular tracking Mica in Tesla batteries. And they're battery manufacturers, right? So it's any other car manufacturer that uses those batteries will, in theory, be using circular in their supply chain, which is huge. We already have some upfront knowledge from the CEO of Circular stating that they are going to onboard in Tesla, GM, and Ford. Those aren't little rinky-dink businesses, man. Those are Fortune 500, blue chip, established, proven companies. Circular, this is looking really cool. This is really cool. And especially I like this because the ethical incentive behind it to keep people safe, to keep countries and adults accountable and not exploit kids. Hey, I really wish we didn't have to rely on computers to make that happen. I really wish people would just not do child labor, but this is Earth, right? So, interesting article we have here from Cointelegraph. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, Dub Digital. I bring you crypto news, market trends every single day. I'm on this like all the time, and I keep you up to date. More so than a lot of other crypto channels. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Talk to y'all later. Peace.